Yadira Gonzalez Munoz, CEO of I Am Magazine, brings you conversations with I Am TV.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome from wherever in the world you're watching us. I am Yadira Gonzalez Munoz, founder and CEO of I Am Magazine International and Conversations with I Am TV. Joining us today is a truly inspiring woman, LaChelle Adkins, known to many as America's Supermom. As a mother of 15, a successful entrepreneur, and a motivational speaker, LaChelle has become a beacon of strength, resilience, and positivity. Her journey from overcoming depression to empowering others through her coaching, speaking, and media presence is nothing short of remarkable. LaChelle's message of balance, self-care, and faith resonates with countless individuals who are striving to find their superpower amid life's challenges. We're thrilled to have her here today to share her story, insights, and wisdom. Welcome, LaChelle, to Conversations with I Am TV. We're so glad to have you here with us today.
Thank you so much for having me, Yadira. And it's just awesome to be connected again. As a few years back, I was able to be a guest on your magazine. So I'm excited to now be a guest on TV. So looking forward to today's conversation.
And we're looking forward to, and we're so excited to have you here too. You are known as America's Supermom. Can you share what that title means to you and how it reflects your journey as a mother and entrepreneur?
Yes. So the name comes from having 15 children. My husband and I have 15 children together. 13 of them I had through childbirth myself, and then 2 are my stepchildren. I got with a coach early in my journey with the business that I do now as a motivational speaker. And the first thing that she did was have me acquire all of my digital assets and send them to her so she can kind of help me build my brand. So at the time, I was featured in a story here in Atlanta, Georgia, titled Supermom. And she thought, that's just so common. She was from the UK. And so she said, what about America's Supermom? And so for me, I feel like the name is something that I'm continuing to grow into. I met my husband in college and I was passionate about a career, and I wanted to be a corporate attorney initially. But once I had kids, I felt like I couldn't be successful in a career and be a mother, a successful mother, by doing both of them. I felt I had to choose between the two of them. And so over time, through my own journey, I've learned that I could redefine what the American dream means to me, hence America's Supermom, understanding that I could be successful in business and motherhood at the same time. I don't have to choose one or the other.
Incredible. I like it. Your personal story is incredible, inspiring. It brings so much to the audience or to the people that will know you, particularly your experience overcoming depression. What was the turning point to lead you to reclaim your life and being empowered or empowering others?
Yeah, I think it was so many years of doing it wrong. I feel like, I am a hard student. Okay. My head is hard. Okay. It took me 3 times of being hospitalized to really realize that, I really was my own person that caused a lot of my challenges, right? I had to learn to understand that if things were going to change, it was up to me. I had to be the one that decided to do something differently. And as long as I was in that victim mindset of feeling like it was my kid's fault or my husband's fault or circumstances that I was encountering, that it was never going to change. I was going to continue to be in this cycle. And for me, I just didn't want to have a fourth, fifth, or even more hospitalization. I realized that as much as I tried to blame others, that I was the common denominator. And in order for me to change my story, I had to be intentional with doing different things for that story to change.
Incredible. Thank you for sharing. As a motivational speaker and life coach, what are the key messages that you aim to impact to women and to impart to women who are struggling with balancing their personal and professional lives, or maybe going through all these struggles that you went through?
Yeah, I think for myself, no woman is the same as the next one. We all have different upbringing. We have different values. And a lot of times, we feel like because of society that there's a one size fits all. You have to be looking the same way in order to be successful. For me, success is not working 24/7. It's being able to have 3 days that I work and 4 days that I'm available to be with my kids, right? It could vary based on the ages of our children. So a lot of things we feel like, we have to be cookie cutter and fit into the mold of that just may not work for us. And so I think empowering women to understand that, we define what success means to us, and showing up as our authentic self is enough. If we're not for everybody, that's fine. We can just continue to open up our space to people that resonate with us. We don't have to have everybody be our client. Everybody doesn't have to be our business partner, and being okay with that.
Thank you for sharing that. How do you manage to maintain such a positive and energetic outlook while juggling the demands of being a mother of 15 and a wife and a successful businesswoman?
Yeah, I think for myself, it's collaboration. Having a team. For years, I was on this island and it didn't end well. That was really the main catalyst for a lot of my depression, was feeling like I had to do it all alone. Having a support system is one of my key pillars of overcoming depression. I have a signature coaching program that I call Fresh Start. And FRESH is an acronym for the 5 pillars. And one of those pillars is the S, which is a support group or tribe. So having people that resonate with your goals and your values, I think are important, because on life's journey, we're going to have things happen that can bring us down, whether it's a death in the family, or maybe losing our job, or something going on in our personal health or relationships. That's just the thing that's common to life, is that you're going to have ups and downs. But it's important to understand how quickly you can bounce back. And that cannot happen if you're alone. You have to have a support group. At least this is what I found in my own journey, is that it takes a team of people to support me on those moments when I'm not at my best. There was just a situation this past weekend where my husband was a keynote speaker out of state, and I had another event where someone wanted me to be present, and I had one of my producers go in my absence. So I think when you have a team, you're able to still keep the ball moving forward without people really noticing that you're not even there. Before I would have been like, oh my gosh, trying to decide which event, and it was just like, I didn't have any stress. I was like, hey, passing it on to the next person. So that's really, for me, the key is collaboration.
Very important for the growth of any successful company, I believe.
Absolutely.
What role has faith played in your journey, and how do you incorporate it into your daily life and coaching practice?
Yeah, so for me, faith is the non-negotiable. I actually named one of my daughters Faith. My 12th delivery was with Faith, and she was the first C-section that I had to have. So 11 of my kids were natural. For her, I had to have a C-section, and I was a basket case. They're talking to me about the side effects of, having pain medicine and the whole surgical process. And, I decided then that I was going to name her Faith because I knew that was the one thing that was going to get me through it. But I just think, I don't know where I would be without the Lord and his presence in my life. I had 3 hospitalizations, and each of those times I was on medication. And the fact that I am now, 8 years ago, I was in the hospital or just getting out. And I don't have any medication that I'm taking. I have been able to be medicine free. For me, that is a blessing. And I don't think it would have happened without Faith. I have a daughter who is 25, and she has had her own journey in depression, and she is on medicine. So I feel like, it's important for us to understand what works for us, with our mindset, with what we're going through, the different things that we're encountering, being empowered to take care of ourselves and having the faith to trust our own voice, I think is a non-negotiable.
Very important. Thank you. So you often are right now, you often are speaking about the importance of self-care or the mental health. What advice would you give to women who feel overwhelmed by their responsibilities and struggles to prioritize themselves?
Well, first, I want to say that there is no balance. That's just an illusion. A lot of people talk about it, and if you hear a lot of them, they're not juggling what most women are juggling. You hear a lot of men talking about, hey, work-life balance, and what are they doing, right? I'm just saying. They are not doing what a mom does, okay? So the fact that you're thinking that it's like a cookie cutter, everything is working out, that is just not reality. It is, for me in my life, it's been harmony. It has been trying to find the common thread so that I can incorporate my family, my spouse in the things that I am pursuing. So whether it is my business, tying some of my goals in with my family goals. If I want to get more clients, then I could say, hey guys, if I get more clients, then, we're going to go bowling together as a family. So then my kids become invested in whatever I'm working on. And so it begins to be a situation where it's bringing us even closer together rather than further apart. And I think a lot of times, in my journey, I have felt it has to be separated. You can have your business goals, you got your family goals. And so it's always this conflict between which one is going to win. And so when you learn to embrace them and bring them together, you have a lot more people working towards your goals. My kids say, okay, mom, we're supposed to be going bowling or whatever. So how are you doing on that goal? Are you talking to people? Are you doing whatever? And so you have that added layer of accountability, not just with your business connections, but also at home. So I think having the ability to blend the two is so important. Not feeling like it has to be one or the other, but trying to find the and in every situation.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. That's very important because many people say we have to find the balance. And as you say, sometimes it's very difficult to find it, but we have to go with the flow.
Absolutely.
Can you share a particular memorable moment from your journey where you felt you made a significant impact in someone's life?
Yeah, I would say it would be hearing my kids repeat some of the things that I've taught them to their friends or even to each other. I remember when my oldest daughter, she had her son. And so My mom and myself and her youngest sister at the time went to stay with her for her delivery because she was living in Florida in grad school at the time, and we still lived in Georgia. And so having that experience of being there with her, and as soon as she had my grandson, she went on this campaign of being my greatest cheerleader. She was like, I don't know what you guys got going on, but you need to listen to mom because she knows what she's talking about. So for me, that was just a great moment to witness her being able to connect with her siblings and telling them that, the things that I'm saying, I'm not trying to hurt the kids with some of the rules or guidelines that I have for them, but that it really is for their best interest. And hearing her say that to her siblings, I mean, that was really a wonderful moment. But in addition to that, I think it's just even taking time to connect with people, seeing them and hearing them. For years when I was going through my depression, I was numb to a lot of interactions. I had a wall up and nothing could really penetrate it. And so being in a space to where I can really connect with someone emotionally and having them even say sometimes, oh my gosh, I can't believe you are spending this time. I'm sorry if I kept you or whatever. But just really helping people to understand that, we can share just moments or strategies or insights or quotes, and it could really transform somebody's life. Oftentimes we think it's the big things that we do, but it's those quiet moments of a simple conversation that can really transform and help somebody live a more fulfilled life.
How do you define success, both personally and professionally? And how has that definition evolved over time?
Yeah. So for me, success is being able to show up as my authentic self. For years, I felt like I lived behind a mask of perfection. I had to say the right thing, show up as, the right person. And the ability now to show up as myself, whether I'm at the grocery store, on stage speaking, or, on an airplane, for me, that's success because for years I felt like I had to manufacture it. I was successful if I said the right thing or if I dressed the right way or if I, made the right comment. But understanding that showing up as myself and being able to share my story authentically and being able to bring that story to any platform is also important to me. I believe that depression is a topic that is still taboo. A lot of people feel uncomfortable. They don't know how to talk about it. And so being in a space to where I can talk about it wherever I show up, for me, that's success because I feel like a lot of people would gloss over it. They would, say whatever to appease somebody, but I have no problem raising the conversation in order to help those who are suffering in silence.
Thank you for sharing that. And it is very important, especially nowadays, that there is a lot of mental health issues.
Mm-hmm.
And probably with women, we open ourselves a little bit more to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that men shut themselves and they're afraid to come out because then, of course, he's a man. He's not supposed to feel that. He's supposed to be strong. And that
Yes.
is something that is very important for give that first step and say, hey, I'm not feeling well. What can
Mm-hmm.
I do? Or can you help me? So thank you for sharing that because not everybody, like you say, is still a taboo and not everybody is wanting to give that first step.
It's
Okay.
so true.
What future projects or initiatives are you currently working on and what can your audience look forward to in the coming months?
Well, the first thing is I do have a show entitled Real Life Without Excuses. And that show is on the Zondra TV network. And it is a place for business owners and just everyday people to talk about their journeys of overcoming life's adversities without the excuses. For myself, I was 13 years with this victim mindset, and this cycle was destined to continue if I didn't do anything different. And so I'm passionate about hearing stories of other people that have overcome challenges. And so that season three is going to be premiering on September 3rd. We're going to do a virtual premiere on Zoom. So you can stay tuned to get that information. But I'm also, the Zondra TV network is located in Texas and I'm in Georgia. So we're working on finding a location to where we could film a lot of episodes and collaborate here locally so that we can expand our brand and make it more attractive to business owners that are here in the Georgia area. So that is something that is going to be happening soon. Excited about that. And the Keep It Real TV channel that is on the Zondra TV network. I'm excited for conversations with I am to be a part of that roster of content creators that have up to 24 episodes of content that is being built as we speak. So we are constantly looking for content creators with positive programming and the ability to distribute their great content on the Zondra TV network and other platforms like Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV.
Thank you for sharing that. I know that you also have let me start that again. Because you already mentioned the TV show, I wanted to ask another question. I'm going to ask about the books.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you for sharing that. And I know that you're also an author. Can you tell us a little bit about your books?
Yes, so I'm excited to be a collaborator with you and your sister on the book She Said Yes to Herself, the Empower Her Guide. So this is really a book that helps to provide strategies and tools for women to be able to stand against life's adversities, the stories of overcoming. A lot of the books and collaborations that I'm a part of are with that same theme in mind of being transparent about the story in order to empower others. So I have several books, and you can just go to Amazon. I have an author page there where I have at least 5 or 6 books. One of them is my personal self-guided journal. I also have a soundtrack in that book with 2 of my children. So there's a QR code. You can scan that code and listen to the playlist. So I'm excited about having multiple forms of media to reach the audience of people that are suffering in silence. Maybe they are just trying to get comfortable raising the conversation around depression or overwhelm or burnout. And so I look to have a lot of digital assets to reach them at whatever stage that they're on.
Amazing. Thank you for sharing that. What is the legacy you hope to leave behind? And how do you want to be remembered by those whose lives you've touched? Everybody that loves you, everybody that is around you. What is the legacy? I know it's very important for any one of us leaving a legacy.
Yes. I would say the legacy of inspiration. For me, inspiration means, oh, yes, I hear something, I'm moved by it, but then I'm motivated to take action. So being able to inspire people to not just acquire information, but that they take that information and they apply it in their life. And one of the things for me that is really just a personal voice of understanding who you are so that you can show up and be authentic and realize that you don't have to be like somebody else to have your own version of success. So, whatever tools and techniques and strategies that I can create to help people with that is what I'm passionate about because there is no one size fits all. You know, it would be great if I could still wear a size 3 pants, but I just can't do it. Okay. I'm just past that thing. So I feel like, understanding that you don't have to be like somebody else to be the best version of yourself. Another thing is it's, the daily walk for yourself. For me, I have an acronym for the word smile. It doesn't cost anybody anything to smile. But for me, it's an acronym of 5 pillars that I struggled with maintaining in an order to that led to my own journey of depression. So if I'm able to pass on these tools and these little principles to other people, then it can prevent them from going through what I experienced. And so that acronym for SMILE is sleep, mood, inner voice, laughter, and energy. All these components are great places for you to explore for yourself if you're at a deficit, how you can start getting yourself to optimal health and wellness. Now, I'm not a doctor, but this is just based on my own journey that I have found have worked for me in monitoring these 5 areas. And it's also great talking points for people that you feel might not be quite themselves. Then you can see that maybe they're not laughing. So you can send them some cat videos or animal videos or kids videos or jokes, right? To kind of get them out of head. So having this as a good guideline to kind of begin to have some of those hard conversations with a direction that is positive.
Thank you for sharing that. I really am very interested to learning more about those 5 pillars of SMILE. It's very interesting. I think the audience would like to know more about it too. So, LaChelle, what is your final message you want to share with our audience and with us in conversations with IMT?
Well, I would say always be in the mindset of positivity because when you are, you can see the opportunities that are right in front of you. So for us, we collaborated years ago with me being a part of the magazine. And I don't think back then that I would have thought that we would be collaborating now, but maintaining those relationships, right? When you meet people, stay in contact with them. If you are connecting on values and you find that there's an intersection there, then don't be afraid to reach out and see how you might be able to collaborate and make that journey more impactful for all parties because everybody coming and bringing their energy and expertise really allows the workload to be so much easier. I say working smarter, not harder. So understanding that people that you're connected to, you never know if they're in a space to where they want to expand. And so being willing to have those conversations is so important because the sky is the limit in terms of the things that we can accomplish, especially if we're working together.
Yes, thank you. I remember when we first met a few years ago, 3 years, almost 4. You were one of our first people in the magazine being featured, and the connection was immediately. And I think that it's very important to keep those connections growing. And this is
Yes.
how we end up being partners now, and we keep on growing together. And that is very important. Thank you for your words.
Absolutely.
As we conclude this insightful conversation, we want to extend our heartfelt thanks to LaChelle Adkins for sharing her powerful journey as the wisdom she's gained along the way. Your ability to balance and so much while maintaining such positive and truly inspiring, and your dedication to helping others find their own path to happiness and fulfillment is commendable. Recommendable, sorry, no. Let me start that again. We're almost done.
Okay.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. As we conclude this insightful conversation, we want to extend our heartfelt thanks to LaChelle Adkins for sharing her powerful journey and the wisdom she's gained along the way. Your ability to balance so much while maintaining such positivity is truly inspiring. And your dedication to helping others find their own path to happiness and fulfillment is commendable. Thank you, LaChelle, for being a beacon of light and for reminding all of us that with faith, resilience, and self-care, we can overcome any obstacle. We look forward for seeing how your journey continues to unfold and the lives you'll undoubtedly continue to touch. We encourage you to connect with LaChelle Adkins, known as America's Supermom. All the details to reach LaChelle are displayed on the screen. Thank you for being with us today, and we look forward to having you join us on the next episode of Conversations with I Am to Be. Until then, keep shining and sharing your stories. Thank you.
Adios.